What's up, Student Assembly? This is Yusra, your 2019-2020 Director of Communications. I'm here with my good friend, Erin Sales. I'll let her introduce herself in a minute, but we are going to be talking advocacy stuff. Erin, tell the people who you are.
Hi everyone, my name is Erin Sales. I am a student at the University of Rhode Island, and I'm the chair of the Student Assembly's Professional Advocacy Project Committee.
Yes, so lots of advocacy stuff. So tell me first, what got you involved in advocacy, why you're the project committee chair, and what actually is advocacy in this field?
Yeah, definitely. So what got me involved in advocacy at first was talking to people when I started PT school and realizing that no one knew what physical therapy was, or what we did, or what level of education that we had. And I didn't like that at all, and I decided that I was going to do something about it. So when I took over as core ambassador, I really focused on doing things to make people know what we do and the breadth of what we do, because nobody knows all of the different settings that we're in too, and there are so many different ways that physical therapy can help somebody, and I just think it's important that everybody knows that and everyone gets involved and knows what that you can do to be helped by the physical therapist.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm guessing you didn't come into PT school and then you were project committee chair, right? So tell me a little bit about your journey and the things that you've been involved in that have gotten you to this point.
Yeah, definitely. So I was core ambassador for Rhode Island last year, and then through that I was lucky enough to be able to go to all the different conferences and meet so many great people and learn about the different things that the Student Assembly offers to students to get involved. And one of those is the Professional Advocacy Project Committee. So I was a member on that last year, which was a really great experience. I got to help so many students organize their national advocacy dinners, and then I was lucky enough this year to be chosen as the chair, so now I can help our members to help those students organize their NADs.
Yeah, very cool. So you mentioned NADs.
Yes.
What is an NAD?
So a National Advocacy Dinner is an event that is held by students, but with professionals and possibly state legislators, anyone else that may be involved with advocacy as far as physical therapy goes, and we just are looking for you to have these conversations. The name National Advocacy Dinner, I know, seems a little scary, but it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It can be a lunch and learn, it could be pizza at your school after hours, it can be at a bar, or it could be a big dinner if that is what you want to do. But we're just hoping that people have a conversation about advocacy and learn ways that they can be involved, because it's so important for us to be involved in advocacy. Right now, as things change in healthcare and as different things are coming up that are really starting to take away things that we can do for our patients.
So national advocacy dinners do not have to be national?
Oh no, not at all. They're held locally in your state, in your region, in your school if you want to. Invite whoever is around you and talk about advocacy.
So if I wanted to host a national advocacy dinner and I wasn't sure if there was one happening in my state or not, who do I go to start that? Who do I go to even figure out is this a thing?
Yeah, so if you go on the APTA website and look up National Advocacy Dinners, you'll find an email that goes to me as the project committee chair, and from there I can tell you where your local dinner is, who your state contact is on the project committee, and we'll get you involved and get you going with NADs.
Very cool, very cool. I attended one at the University of North Carolina as a first year, and I remember going in and being this is not national. What? Where am I? But it was awesome. I loved it. So what do you feel can be the impact of those dinners? You mentioned there might be state legislators there, other students that you can meet. So what do you feel can come out of then having the NAD versus it just being this echo chamber of just talking about advocacy in just your state?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the education that everyone gains while we're there. And not only learning about the issues that are currently happening federally and locally, but also just learning how you can be involved. And advocating for your patients is something that you should be doing every single day. So learning how to do that and just being an advocate is something that you can really do at National Advocacy Dinners, and I think it's very important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So National Advocacy Dinner is a little bit more local, more at your state level, maybe at a local PT or PTA program. So then talk to me about bigger, more national level opportunities that if students wanted to get involved.
Yeah, so we have the Federal Advocacy Forum, which will be happening at the beginning of April, around there, and that happens down in DC. And that is a great opportunity for students to really get involved in advocacy if you're catching the bug at all, because you are going to meet with your federal advocacy liaisons from your state who have gone to the FAF for many years, and they know your state legislators really well, and you'll learn about those federal issues that are happening and how you can advocate for physical therapy to a legislator, and then you will actually get to go and meet with your legislators and talk to them about why they should support different things to help physical therapy move forward.
I feel like that's a really good point too about going with people who've been doing this for a while, because I think that especially as like a first and second year, I was really intimidated, and I was like, I don't know how to talk about advocacy, and I didn't want to talk about PT in a way that would then be a detriment to policy. And so, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, you can go to these things without having any sort of experience. You don't have to start at the state level necessarily. Like, you can, and that's an awesome opportunity, but you can also go to Federal Advocacy Forum in DC and sort of have like a mini like orientation, right, on like how to talk about these issues. And if you are truly that person, I feel like who like gets intimidated by these types of environments and like doesn't want to be the person at the forefront to talk, you can still go and like you'll be with a group of people representing like wherever you're from, and so you don't have to say a word, and you're still there doing the work, and you're involved and you're engaged and you're getting a lot of information out of it as well. So I feel like that's probably an important point to bring up too, that like there are different levels of involvement and being vocal, and if you want to be one of those people who's like at the forefront and leading the charge, then there's like space for you too. So there's space for whatever like level of involvement, I guess.
Definitely. When I went to FAF last year, I was just beginning to like get involved with advocacy and really learn what it is. So I thought I was going to have nothing to say, and I was just going to be sitting there, and I was okay with that. I was just interested in getting the experience. But we do have things to say, even as first and second year students. We know how hard healthcare is right now for people, especially those that are trying to access physical therapy in so many different ways. And I think we have something to say, and I'm sure that if you go, you will find something to say, and you will find your passion to talk about there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just going to ask you, like, you know, so a student comes up to you and they say, I have practicals coming up, and I have residency to apply to, and I need a job, and et cetera, et cetera. Why do you feel like students who feel like they've already got all this other stuff going on, like why should students remain involved? Like why should advocacy be kind of at the top of their list?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing is advocacy is the reason that we can do what we can do with our patients. And the way that we keep doing that and we keep growing what we can do is by advocating for our profession. And so many people want to do new things with their patients, and there's always new ideas coming out that we can do and ways that we can help people, and the way that we get patients access to that and we get insurance to cover those things is by advocating. And we need to make sure that we keep what we can do and we continue to grow our profession through advocacy.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I feel like maybe sharing like, and I can too, about what we've seen come out of advocacy efforts. So like I'm from North Carolina, and there was a policy where physical therapists needed a physician referral for spinal manipulation, and then through all the advocacy efforts, through that persistence of like the North Carolina Physical Therapy Association and then all the students, that was then kind of overturned and that language was changed. Same with dry needling and whether or not that should be in our Practice Act, and that was kind of a back and forth between like, well, is that acupuncture, etc., why is it different, and that too through policy efforts has then, dry needling is now like allowed and within the Practice Act for physical therapists in North Carolina.
Yeah,
so I feel like,
and that's such an awesome story about how locally it really works. And our legislators are listening to us. We just need to tell them what we want. In Rhode Island, we had a situation where PT was being used not only by physical therapists, but by personal trainers and other people. So we advocated for a bill, and we got that term to be only used for physical therapists, and anyone who's not a physical therapist certified by the board that's using PT will get fined for it. And we thought that was very important to make sure that people know what physical therapy is. Again, going along with that. And also, I mean, federally, that therapy pay cap that we got lifted, that was a huge push that took years and years of advocating, and when that finally passed, people were so excited and so happy, and now we just keep going. We look for the next thing, and we keep pushing forward to make sure that physical therapy has a future and our patients can get the care that they need.
Yeah, for sure. And then one point too I wanted to make was like Erin and I are both physical therapy students, meaning like DPT students, so I think that it's more natural for us to talk from that perspective, but obviously just as, like, equal opportunity for PTA students. So please, if you have any questions about how you can get involved, especially if you want to get involved in like PTA specific issues, maybe definitely reach out to Erin and reach out to like your core ambassador, reach out to all the people in your program who like might be interested, because it definitely takes a team. But I'm super proud of you for like all the work that you do on this.
So proud of you.
Oh, stop. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you would want students to know, that you want to talk about?
The biggest thing I want to talk about is just, I really think it's important to get involved in advocacy in some way this year. If you can make it to your National Advocacy Dinner, please do. I think it's going to be very important as we look at Medicare possibly cutting our reimbursement, and there's so many other things happening that could really impact our patients. I just am really asking everybody to find your place in advocacy, because everyone has a place, even if it's just talking to your patients or talking to your family and your friends about what PT is. That's advocating, and that's huge for us.
Absolutely.
So everyone can be an advocate for physical therapy. You don't have to be up on the hill. So I'm just, find your way, get involved, ask me if you want to know how, and do it.
You heard her, people. Get involved this year. All right, thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, compliments for Erin and me, please feel free to send them through the APTA Student Assembly social media. Erin, can you real quick tell them maybe like your social media handles and your email?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is Erin Sales, that's SAYLES, just so you can find me, SPT, and then my email is erinlynn, ERINLYNN02@gmail.com.
Perfect. Alrighty. Enjoy the rest of CSM if you're here, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.